breaking news out of Las Vegas. You guys are not going to believe this. Circus Circus is being sold. Actually, this isn't even breaking news. This is from an inside source. Circus Circus is going to be sold, demolished, and they're going to build a brand new mega resort, probably similar to Fontainebleau and Resorts World, Wynn and Encore. You know, it's at the north end of the strip. But this I just got from an inside source. It's happening 100%, and it hasn't even broke on the news. Vital Vegas, nobody knows about it yet, but you got to hear from me first. Let me know in the comments what you think. Is this good? Bad? What do you think?
What you just said is one of the most insanely idiotic things I have ever heard. At no point in your rambling, incoherent response were you even close to anything that could be considered a rational thought.
So this is the Circus Circus, and in the last week or so, a Twitter handle called Gambling News 123 came out of the blue and said that he has insider information that this property will be torn to the ground, razed to build something like the Fontainebleau and the Resorts World. Is the rumor true? Who's this Gambling News 123? And the shocking financials of what this place is actually worth to its owner, Phil Ruffin, are in this video. If you're ready, let's get started. What's up, guys? My name is Steven. I'm not leaving Las Vegas. I came down to the Circus Circus today because this property has so much history in the valley. This opened up in 1968. I'm doing a video on the fall and decline of the buffet, and this property played a prominent role in the rise of the buffet. But is it being torn to the ground? That's the question in this video. I'm going to share some memories and some thoughts. We actually have some footage from the inside of this place, which I try not to do, but it's kids back in school and there's hardly anybody inside on a Tuesday morning at 8 o'clock in the morning. And let's go talk about the rumor. You see, casino owner Phil Ruffin, he's no slouch. He actually owned the Frontier, which is just on the other side of the Resorts World, for a minute before that was torn down. And he's purchased the Circus Circus many, many years ago for somewhere around $800 million, if I'm not mistaken. That means that this property is most likely paid for because, shockingly, if you look at the financials, this property makes about $90 million before its earnings, its taxes, and all of its income is taxed, which means that this place is actually operating tax-free and purely at a profit standpoint, which makes the strange mystery of this person, Gambling News 123, claiming that this will be torn down a little more mysterious. Let's talk about who that person is, though. And this comes by way of our good friend Corey on casino.org/news. He's quite the investigative reporter, don't you know? I'll post a link to his comment in the show more box of this video. This Gambling News 123 person, it's just a trust me, bro, like Starfish, Vegas Starfish said.
Circus Circus is going to be sold, demolished, and they're going to build a brand new mega resort, probably similar to Fontainebleau and Resorts World, Wynn and Encore. You know, it's at the north end of the strip. But this I just got from an inside source. It's happening 100%.
It's true that the dilapidated resort is nestled amongst newer luxury resorts, but I have trouble with trust me, bro, as a source.
Trust me, I have friends. They are insiders. What kind of insider friends do you know? Who knows? But this account on Twitter has zero credibility, which makes rumors like this incredibly frustrating. We'll get to another rumor about Disney owning this property in this video too. But Circus Circus is always going to be the subject of rumors. But the rumors coming from this is a quick grasp at fame. Gambling News 123 had no followers before this. This video he posted went viral because people have fear of missing out on their memories. And there's a lot of memories in Circus Circus. I have memories in Circus Circus. And instantly he gained 432 followers and maybe some credibility in people who don't understand how common these rumors in Vegas are. His account was used mostly for attacks against a social media influencer. And before he did this, he was just a guy sitting in his limo, which doesn't hurt my feelings much. I started this channel as just a guy sitting in his car. But you shouldn't put anything into what he says. Let's talk about why this place isn't being torn down and why the actual chances of that happening are likely slim to nil next. What's happening here is security is coming out. I thought they were going to come talk to me. We were out here once and we saw in the reopening a Russian guy with his smartphone and setup, and he had mics and lights just standing right here, and they came up and gave him the business. Circus Circus has good security and they care about kids. They don't want kids being filmed, which I totally understand. At least I can still walk the property while we talk about it, though. I thought they were going to try to give me the bum's rush out of here. So Circus Circus opened in 1968, and when it opened, it was little more than a circus tent. Literally just a circus tent, a couple of fountains outside. It was opened up by a guy named Jay Sarno. You might know him if you're parking your car at Caesar's Palace. You're going to go through Jay Sarno Way. And Stan Mallon was his business partner. There's a Stan Mallon Drive, I believe, over by Caesar's Palace too. Jay Sarno was a guy who brought opulence to Vegas with Caesar's Palace, but he wanted to bring a carnival and circus atmosphere. He never thought it would have a hotel tower. He never thought it would even be all that profitable, but he just wanted to get away from the mafia influence that had been running the Caesar's Palace. And he used this property to do so. Definitely a polarizing guy, but this place grew up in the 1970s and the 1980s. Eventually, this property was sold to a pair of friends who then discovered that slot machines that pay out heavy are the ticket to riches. They would do 98% payouts, while the rest of the city was doing closer to 90 or 85, and the rest is just money in the bank. Circus Circus grew so quickly throughout the 1980s that it became Circus Circus Enterprises, and like any publicly traded company, you have to make your investors happy. So the gentleman that owned Circus Circus Enterprises went on to build properties like the Excalibur, like the Luxor, you know, the entire foundation of the modern day Vegas started right here at Circus Circus. So you're saying, okay, that's fine. Modern day Vegas, Circus Circus, so what? I want to go to Resorts World. I want to go to Fontainebleau. Those are the new properties here in town. And yeah, I agree. Those properties are absolutely gorgeous. And are they making money? In most cases, not as much as you might think. As I kind of alluded to, Circus Circus is likely completely tax-free, making hand over fist cash every single year. So much money, as a matter of fact, that the owner, Phil Ruffin, who also owns part of Trump Tower just south of here, he actually invested $30 million after the COVID pandemic and the reopening to build food courts and upgrade the facilities. That's not something that's going to happen when a man is thinking of liquidating his property, selling it, and taking on massive buckets of debt in order to build something shiny and new, now is it? Something strange about this property too that you might not think is that this was never intended as a place for children. In the 1960s and 70s, when this place was just struggling to operate, its main target was adults. People would come in dressed in their best dress in order to gamble at Circus Circus and see crazy things like elephants and literally live elephants. There's a photo on the screen. They did weird carnival show barker type things like auctioning off a piece of Tiffany jewelry at a loss and then taking out a piece of cheap plastic jewelry and auctioning it off at a huge markup, preying on people's fear of missing out, which a lot of people still do today. It's psychology 101. And throughout the 80s, this place, as I mentioned, got super popular with the slots. I'm doing a video on the buffets. This played a prominent role in that, at one point feeding more people in the state of Nevada than any other company other than the Nevada penal system. And above me, we have a monorail of all things, one of the first in the city. By the way, the monorail, it hasn't run in years. There's really no reason for it, as the amount of people coming to this part of the strip dropped as resorts were torn down. New construction took place, and Circus Circus kept with its niche, which was largely children. But how did it get to that place for kids? Well, that's another story. So Circus Circus, being a place of kids, came out in the 1980s when all those slot machines showed up here. Yeah, the owners built a midway inside and had carnival acts come through in the 1970s. You can see them in the James Bond movie Diamonds Are Forever. However, the kids would play at the midway while the parents would sit on the slot machines and the tables. The 90s brought that whole Vegas era for children coming to Vegas into town, and Circus Circus Enterprises was at the forefront. It also brought the addition of the Adventure Dome, one of the largest indoor theme parks in the United States. This place is truly set up for kids. It's a niche, but it seemed to be working for them as time went by. They even had bungee jumping back here, and at one point you could see the tower. It's still above me. I remember coming here in 1995 and watching people bungee jump. It was quite the trip. And even though Vegas is really not a place where it's appropriate to bring your children, please don't bring your children to Vegas. They even ran an ad campaign. Even though that era is dead in Vegas, Circus Circus is still the place. I mean, look at the inside of Circus Circus. Arcade midways, acrobatic acts, all while the parents can, you know, hang out with their kids and just pump money into it. This is the only casino property in the city that truly monetizes for absolutely everybody in town, probably leading to the reason why the owner doesn't have any kind of debt, it appears, although it's a private company and we won't fully ever really know. So yeah, I mean, it's quite possible that there is some kind of 10-year plan for when the interest rates truly come down and money gets cheaper to do something with the Circus Circus. Maybe they will one day replace it with crystal palaces like the Fontainebleau across the street or the Resorts World that flanks it. But at this point, Circus Circus is a money-making operation for its owner, literally printing money on a daily basis, completely paid for from all accounts and purposes. And it makes no sense that this property would be soon for the chopping block in Vegas history and lore. So I think whatever Gaming News 123 or Gambling News 123 was talking about is nothing more than a short take that he did that got out of control and spawned all these rumors. But this isn't the first time we've heard a rumor about Circus Circus being on the chopping block. A couple of months back, somebody used an AI image generator to make some kind of TikTok video claiming that Circus Circus was going to be purchased by Disney. Yeah, that's right. The Disney Corporation, Walt Disney Company, a company who has been consistently losing money off of their bottom line for the last few years with all of their woke shenanigans that upset people. That company was apparently going to come and put billions of dollars into the Vegas market, never running a casino and having no idea what they're doing. Ask them over at Resorts World how it's working. They'll tell you stories, I'm sure. But that's the rumor crushed and squashed. Thanks go out to Corey from casino.org for doing a great write-up on this, which helped me produce the video. You should go read him on a regular basis. He does a series called Vegas Myths Busted, and he does a very good job of it. He's got all of the rumors and all the myths you've ever heard of in Vegas who are just ridiculous to plausible, squashed over and over again. You'll probably really enjoy it. Once again, my name is Steven. I'm not leaving Las Vegas. I'm a Vegas blogger standing here by the Circus Circus, piece of Vegas history that's been around nearly as long as its owner has. Telling you, I think the rumor is just that. I don't think you have to worry about your midway or your, it's lots of fun next to it. This place is here to stay. Now it's time of the video where I say 3, 2, 1, click. If you guys are ready for it, and we say 3, 2, 1, click. 3, 2, 1, and click.